Gerald has to have the courage to save Jenna with one act.
What's up, y'all? I'm Kayla Gilchrist, and I'm about to do my first interview with Zolle. I'm really glad to be here at the yard, the truck yard. My first time here. Looks like a great place. Let's get started.
Hey, how are you?
What's up, Hugo?
How are you? So good to see you.
So good to see you too. You ready?
Yeah, let's do this. That's good, huh?
Okay, look up.
All right, let's sit over here.
Yes,
You
like
can talk into it and your voice gets all funny.
I know, right? It's not blowing as much as I thought it would blow.
No, it's not.
Okay, they're gonna do it for y'all.
Yes.
That comes to $25.98.
All right, awesome. Zolle's treat. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thanks. Bye. All right, I'll sit next to you. Got us some napkins.
This looks really good.
I know.
Oh, your burger actually looks seriously delicious.
You say,
Like-
yeah. Any bit of this? You want some of this?
Oh no, you're good, good. Eat your food, eat your food.
Man,
That was great.
yeah, that was good.
So you ready? Let's go find a place to talk.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. This is great.
Cool. So I'm glad I finally get to sit down with you. I heard you're an amazing screenwriter and filmmaker. Go ahead and tell us your name and what got you interested in the film industry.
Oh, sure. My name is Hugo Nue. I've pretty much been a lifelong lover of film, and went ahead and graduated from University of North Texas with a degree in film, radio, TV, and film.
Darrell and Jenna. Could you tell us more about that?
Yes, it's a short film. It's a coming-of-age film, and I had the idea for the film for a long time, and I pitched it to Zolle. And after I handed in the first draft, they provided some really thoughtful notes, really helpful notes, because I was stuck in some areas. And that's something that's very, very important for a writer, is to be able to get some feedback on the writing. And
So you said that Darrell and Jenna is a coming-of-age story. Do you relate to that coming-of-age story? What inspired this story specifically?
remembering myself at the age of 14, 15, and a lot of my summers were spent doing nothing and kind of just stuck, at home and seeing other people have a more interesting summer than I would. And so I thought, well, this character just came to my mind, and that's something that's crucial for me to start writing screenplays, is when a character arrives and I see a certain scene play out, and then I'm like, oh, okay, now I got to write what happened before that and also what happens afterward. Gerald there he was, 14, 15 years old. His father had just passed away, lives with his mom, who's like really, really, struggling to work 2 jobs.
Is your father still here?
Yes, he is, and so I'm very, fortunate. But Gerald, he has that big emotional thing that he's dealing with. I figured, well, what would a summer for somebody like him under those conditions, what would they be like? So that's pretty much how I started.
Nice. Did anyone specifically in your life inspire Jenna?
I would have liked to have had like a really cool older sister. I do have a cousin that I remember back in the 80s when I visited her in Peru, where my family's from. And she was about 4 years older than me, and so she was like 19, and she was like the coolest person. And I thought, man, I wish we lived really close. And she was just a really spirited, exuberant person, and that was my inspiration for Jenna, was somebody who could be almost like a mentor to Gerald. To a young man, instead of, because he no longer has his dad. He has his uncle that he works for at the car wash. But I thought, well, maybe it's something that's for Gerald, like a romantic blossoming, even though due to the age difference, there's nothing that happens,
Right.
on that level. But
So
Gerald can
Gerald and Jenna's relationship is totally platonic.
It is platonic, even though Gerald may wish that it wasn't. But when I was 14, 15, I always thought, well, if my fantasies did come true, I wouldn't know what to do. And being so self-conscious and awkward at that age, it's kind of like platonic is pretty much the way to go.
So you would say you will relate to Gerald's character the most.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah.
What other themes would you say are in your film?
Definitely the theme of owning one's weakness before it owns one. You know, own your weakness before it owns you. And in Gerald's case, that would be his difficulty with speaking. So, when I was that age, speaking was not my thing, and strong emotions wouldn't come out. I couldn't articulate them well. And Gerald is doing pretty much the same thing, especially during the grieving process. That's something that many people in his life consider a weakness, consider him meek, and that's another thing that I wanted to incorporate in the script was the proverb, "And the meek shall inherit the earth." In the dictionary, there are two definitions. The first one is somebody who's mild and inoffensive, maybe weak. The second definition is having enough inner strength to be able to endure without resentment, having the strength to move aside so that somebody else can show some strength. And that's pretty much the two major themes.
What is it that you hope they get out of the movie?
I hope they get Gerald's courage. He's 14, 15, he's not an adult, he can't do adult things. Gerald's ex comes into town wanting to get Jenna back. He comes with a dark secret, something that's dangerous. Gerald has to have the courage to save Jenna with one act, one action. It's a non-violent one, but it's one that takes an enormous amount of courage because it means hurting somebody. The implication is very hurtful, but he has an ulterior motive. And so he uses his weakness, the fact that he can't speak, his silence. He uses that as a way of not ratting on anybody, of just deciding, I'm not going to say why I did it, and that's that, accept it.
Well, I'm definitely interested in seeing this film. Have you begun casting?
We have started a casting through Zolle, and so we hope for people to get excited and audition. And
I love that you want to use the Dallas-Fort Worth talent. So when can they start sending in headshots and resumes? And where?
Yeah, now. They can go to the Zolle website, and it's all pretty much there.
So I know me as a working artist, I'm sure other working artists are going to want to know, is this paid or unpaid?
No, it's going to be paid.
Well, awesome. It was great talking to you, Hugo.
It was great to talk to you.
And I look
Thank you.
forward to seeing Gerald and Jenna come to life.
Yes, me too. Thank you very much.